Chair lays out House Bill 3618 and Senator Colcourse to explain the bill for sponsor, Senator Campbell.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Happy to do this for Senator Campbell as we're all running around with a lot of committees this morning. In recent years, the drought has made access to dry Blanco River bed even more accessible for traveling on foot. The Blanco River has seen an increase in the number of people utilizing the dry riverbeds to attempt to reach unique ecological features like the Narrows, a natural formation located on the Blanco River in Hays County. Due to the distance hikers have to travel on foot to reach the Narrows via the Blanco Riverbed, more and more of these hikers decide to camp overnight along the way. Camping and building campfires in the riverbed can be very dangerous and have negative ecological impacts, particularly during times of severe drought. House Bill 3618 prohibits camping or building fires in times where the Blanco River is dry. This legislation will prevent dangers to both the area ecologically and potential riverbed campers and potential fires for neighboring landowners. The bill passed the House 140 to 5. I had talked to Senator Campbell about this bill and know a little bit about the problems that they're seeing. It's unique, but I think worrisome, especially for the adjacent landowners. So,
through that conversation with you, if you don't have the question since it's not your bill or answer, but did she explain why trespassing laws are not being enforced or why they're not handling the problem? Because it's my understanding is they're going across private landowners to get to a camping spot that's creating mischief, but they are trespassing to get there. Is there just...
Yeah, you know, it's interesting. I don't. Is anybody signed up to testify?
No, nobody here to testify.
Yeah, I know that there's one landowner in particular, I believe, that she was dealing with, but that as a landowner myself, you know, you can't be out there 24/7, and you know, any deterrent that we can give, you're right, they shouldn't even be on the land and how to access it. But there are access points, I'm sure, along highways that you can drop into those riverbeds. And, you know, I just think it's a unique situation. I would be very concerned about people being on my property, but more importantly, building campfires in times of drought. Dangerous.
Appreciate that. We don't have anybody signed up to testify publicly, but we do have two resource witnesses, one from Texas Parks and Wildlife Department and one from Kraft Logan as a National Conservative Conservancy landowners. I don't know why that looks strange.
Could I talk to one of those?
Yeah. Go ahead and call up Larry Young with Texas Park and Wildlife and Logan Kraft. State your name, who you're with, and you'll have 2 minutes if you have any testimony. If not, both of you are listed as resources, and Senator Colcourse may have some questions for you.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I'm Larry Young, Texas Parks and Wildlife Law Enforcement.
I would just ask the question, you know, of what the chair actually was mentioning about trespassing laws that are already on the book in this unique situation.
As you already alluded to, they are in effect, and we do utilize those when we have personnel in the area. But as you talked about, there's access points that do allow access from public right-of-way, so those would not impact the trespass laws.
Do you think that this bill will help deter?
I would think so, yes.
Interesting. Okay.
And Mr. Kraft?
Yes, my name is Logan Kraft with the Narrows Conservation Landowners.
Tell me about the unique situation that we're seeing here.
Well, the situation is unique for a number of reasons. One, it's unique because the particular part of various parts of the Blanco River that run through Hays and Blanco County unfortunately attract trespassers who not only access public points of access to the river, but also trespass against landowner property. When property is put into a conservation easement, as we have done, We're seeking to protect the property, to not develop it. We're institute programs and protocol that are very careful about things like fire building and other things that could endanger the land. The recent drought that we've all experienced has highlighted the dangers that our environment might suffer when the landowners and other people who are seeking to preserve property and conservation easements would suffer due to irresponsible behavior in riverbeds, which are covered with all kind of vegetation that could set up a multi-thousand acre fire potentially, not only in this area but a lot of areas of the state. This alarmed us, the ecological damage being done also by trespassers who were coming across property, or ecological damage from people coming actually through public access points was also very alarming to us during this dry period when the riverbeds had no water.
Do they have water in them now?
They do, but not entirely in places in the Blanco. Some of them are still actually dry.
In that interest, I mean, we're on our way out of hopefully this drought, but still have a long way to go.
That's right.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys, appreciate it. We don't have any matter, right? Is there anyone else wishing to testify for or on or against House Bill 3618? Seeing none, public testimony on House Bill 3618 is closed. We do not have any other witnesses registered, so we will leave that one pending for House floor vote, or Senate floor vote.